All right, here we go with episode 2 of Ducktales. This one's going to be a little different because I watched the episode and fell asleep as soon as it was over, so I don't remember a lot of what happened. I was falling asleep and waking up as I was watching it, but I did get some pictures. All right, this one's called Wronguay and Ronguay. Very clever titles. This one, I can't even explain it. You see that at the end of episode 1, this chocolate exploded in this chocolate factory. And then, let's see, Glongold heard that he's the bad guy, he's the evil duck. Heard that Scrooge got the ship with the map on it. So he got some tailor with an overbite. He got a calculator. That's old-timey calculator tape. So Glongold is like, hey, I'm going to buy your chocolate factory. So he bet Scrooge. Oh, God, I don't know what he bet him. But Scrooge is wearing his swimsuit that he wears when he swims in money. Glongold's got a bag of cash, so he bought Chocolate Factory from him because he wanted to get the map off the boat. Scrooge, with his nephews, they know there's a map on the boat, so they're going to fly to this place to look at it. So he chartered this plane, and he got the cheapest one he could find. So, of course, he had the kids sit with pigs and hens. They're like chairs with straps nailed to them. It's pretty much a rip-off of Indiana Jones. So then at some point, Scrooge, because the plane's getting ready to fall, he charges the door and knocks himself unconscious on the steel door. So here's him dead. They find out that the pilot's a robot, but not only is he a robot, he's a shitty robot, for lack of a better word. Because you can tell because his eyes are googly. So he's probably been drinking. He's got a ball for an ear. So that then he short circuits and his eyes go crazy because they hit him. They're like, hey, fly the plane right. So, of course, he short circuits. And then they land and they talk to what Ducktales shows. This is a Mexican to Ducktales, the artists on Ducktales. He had a very offensive accent. I do remember that. And you'll notice like one eye is googly and bigger than the other, and he's fat. So it's racist. Scrooge walks into some quicksand, even though the boys warned him about the sign. He says, help. And then he realizes that there was a sign that had been cut down. It's got this tiny skull and crossbones on it. So either he's going to walk into poison or quicksand. It can only mean one of those two things. Then it starts to rain. So the boys use they got an umbrella here made out of a tree. And then that scary Mexican dog shows up again. And it is terrifying. Once again, I don't know. This must have scared kids. So they realize that there's a buried treasure. They just had to float up to it. Scrooge is happy because they found money. And he's like, boys, only you can find money. I've got an idea. And he winks at him. I don't know what was said. So they of course find a gold hammer and some gold nails and some gold boards, and they patch up the ship so it could sail, so it's seaworthy, and the water raises up and raises it out, and then Glongold shows up with a gun and points it at all of them, and the Mexican dog, shows up and with his pants that are too hot. He has a freakishly long midsection. If looking at him, I'm assuming his belly button is up near where the top of his pants are, thereabouts. So he has this really long midsection, and it must look weird. Like, without being gross, like, I don't know where his penis is in relation to that, but if it was down at the base of his pants, like the crotch of his pants, so his belly button's up where the waist is. It's like the weirdest, longest pubic region on anybody ever. So Glongold points his old gun at him. And then, of course, he doesn't win, so it says to be continued. And the ship sails. Let's see. Oh, Glongold has to eat his hat. And they ride away into the sunset, and then it says to be continued. I may have said that out of order, but can't wait for part 3. But I'm going to spend the rest of the night trying to figure out how that dude's penis, like where his penis is in relation to his belly button. So, I'll watch the next one later on tonight. Have a good night.